Thank you so much for that introduction, Jason, and thank you for having me here today. I was sitting in a debrief after a learning activity at a leadership development session. I had tears in my eyes and a few sliding down my cheeks. And the instructor looked over at me, and he could see there was something going on and asked me to share. And after I did, he looked down at me and said, "Well then, Amy, you were the worst one in the room. You had the answer, and you failed to share it. Failure to share your knowledge and experience cost your entire team." I was deeply disappointed with myself, incredibly frustrated, full of shame, guilt, and regret. Have you ever had your negative thinking smack you in the face like an invisible barrier? I have. You might be thinking, what the heck happened in that training exercise? I can remember it as if it was yesterday, although it was more than 10 years ago. There we were, sitting in a training session. I'm sure you've all been in a training session recently. There are icebreaker activities designed to get you engaged and interacting. There's laughter and chatter. And around me was a group of individuals who I perceived to be smarter, more talented, more successful, and further along in life than I was. These judgments I was making and thoughts I was thinking were based on their clothes, their attitudes, their posture, and the positions they held in the organization, positions that I greatly aspired to achieve. Well, we're in this training and development session, and like most, there is time for instruction and time for learning activities, like a game where you learn. And we were divided into 3 different groups and tasked with solving the game faster and with more success than the other teams. So there I was, sitting with my team, and they're discussing. Notice they were discussing, and I was kind of sitting there, not really participating. It's interesting to consider how we show up in different situations in our life and the thoughts that cause the action that we take. Normally, I would be the one to take the lead and begin asking for input and openly and easily sharing my own ideas. My leadership was rarely a question for me. However, in that particular group of people, what I knew to be true about myself went poof, disappeared. It's like I forgot all of my knowledge and expertise, my experience and my wisdom. It's like I became a different person, but not on purpose. Perhaps you can relate. Fast forward to the end of the activity, where the instructor was giving us the winners, and we were doing the debrief as I shared. And thankfully, he asked me to share. And thankfully, I had the guts to be open and vulnerable, because that moment was key as a game changer for me in understanding the growth that I needed as a person. It was key. And what I shared in that debrief was my frustration that my negative thinking had stopped me from showing up. And my belief that I was not enough compared to everyone there distorted my thinking. And I spent that entire activity the game, the entire game, wrestling with my thoughts. Thoughts such as, I think I'm remembering this right, but I don't quite remember if this is the same game. I shouldn't speak up. I think I'm getting this all wrong. I should just stay quiet. This was me overusing the word should. I was thinking these people are obviously smarter than me because they're in higher positions and they're having more success, so their ideas are clearly right. This was me assuming and judging myself unfairly. I was thinking, I always make a fool of myself when I speak up, so it's not safe. This was me overgeneralizing. Always is a very strong word, and this was absolutely not the truth. I was thinking, I will be totally humiliated forever if I speak up and I am wrong. These people will never want to talk to me again. This was me catastrophizing or magnifying the situation. I was thinking, they will think I am so stupid and such an idiot if I speak up and I get this wrong. This was me mind reading or jumping to conclusions. The thought that was causing me the most personal anguish was that my own thinking had sabotaged me. Despite having the answer to the game, my thoughts had created an invisible barrier, keeping me stuck, holding me back from that critical moment for my team. Overgeneralizing, assuming, mind reading, catastrophizing, judging myself unfairly. These are all examples of negative thinking patterns, otherwise known as thinking traps. And the question that was really striking a deep chord within me is, how often is this happening in other areas of my life and in the lives of others? It has become abundantly clear to me over the last 10 years that our negative thinking is creating invisible barriers, keeping us stuck from our action, from our happiness and our well-being. And I have become more and more focused of asking quality questions of my coaching clients to go beyond surface level challenges to the thoughts that are actually holding them back. One client shared with me how frustrated, angry, and upset he was that everyone could get their work done faster and easier with no errors. And he was the only one who had challenges at work and at home, and it was all weighing him down. His thinking traps here of assuming, overgeneralizing, judging himself unfairly, were keeping him stuck from his clarity, his problem solving, and his action. Another common theme of thinking that I've seen over the years is with people who are working on their wellness, saying thoughts like, I know I should take better care of myself, but I don't. If I can't do everything perfectly, I might as well not start. It takes everything. I have to do all of it well. I always quit. I never do anything healthy for myself. I'm obviously embellishing a little bit on my words here, but the point is, these negative thinking traps are keeping people stuck. Keeping people stuck. It has become abundantly clear to me that our negative thought patterns are keeping us stuck with these invisible barriers, keeping us from our growth and our success. And we know from the research done by Soflow and David in 2017 that our automatic negative thoughts and distortions are directly related to the beliefs that we have about ourselves and the world. And it is, in my opinion, that at the core of our negative thinking is the belief of feeling unworthy and not enough. Now, there are two strategies that I have used to help myself grow in this area and improve my belief in this area, and I've helped many clients do the same. And the first is a visual tool that I believe brings home this message in a very powerful way. So let me ask you, when was the last time you saw a new baby? When people see new babies, they say, "Oh, so sweet, so cute, so adorable, so precious." Babies are reminding us of the miracle, of the beginning, of pure potential. We are often amazed and in awe of the little fingers and toes. Yet when we ask adults how they measure their worth, they mention things like their looks, their weight, the job they have, the money they earn, the achievements they've accumulated, and more. But my friends, please consider, the new baby cannot talk, cannot walk, cannot feed themselves, cannot read, cannot go to work. So does that mean the baby is unworthy? Does that mean the baby is not enough? Of course not. The baby is worthy and enough from the very first moment. And so are you. When was the last time that you were in awe of yourself? The action that I took many years ago, the strategy that I recommend for individuals, is to find a baby photo of yourself, to post it where you're going to see it every single day. Mine is directly behind my computer screen. And to wire in the thought and the belief, I was enough then, and I am enough now. I am enough. We get to remind the current version of ourselves that maybe looks a little different, that we are still that worthy human. We have simply grown in size, skills, and experience. No one else will remind us of this important message but ourselves. It is our responsibility. The moment a client shared with me her aha, it brought home this important message. She said, "Amy, one of the most powerful moments in coaching with you was when I realized that I was enough. And I had the answer. And you just helped me clear away the garbage so I could see it." The second strategy that I love to use to grow this feeling of worthiness are the 5 Laws of Human Worth by Claudia A. Howard. These laws, I believe, all humans could benefit from learning, reading, and reciting daily. The first one is all have infinite, internal, eternal, and unconditional worth as humans. Let's break that down, shall we? All of us are worthy with limitless worth. Our worth is internal and eternal, meaning no beginning and no end. And our worth is unconditional, no matter what. Her second law is that we all have equal worth as people. Worth is not comparative or competitive. You might be better at business, and you at fitness and sports and music and politics. We are all of equal worth. Her third law is externals neither add nor diminish our worth. Externals like our looks, our weight, our job, our money, our cars, our achievements, neither add nor diminish. Our fourth law is worth is never in jeopardy. It is always stable. And finally, the fifth law is worth doesn't need to be earned or proved, such as in a baby. It already exists. When I learned these laws, it was as if I had found that missing piece of the puzzle. Imagine a world where all people knew, believed, and lived every single day from a place of feeling worthy and enough, what this world could be. I have seen the power of this work firsthand with myself, my clients, and the participants in my workshops. And I'm on a mission to inspire 10,000 humans to embrace their worthiness and know they are enough. Our thoughts and our beliefs have the power to create those invisible barriers, keeping us stuck, keeping us back from our happiness and our well-being. Or our thoughts have the power to help us take aligned action toward the life that we really want to live. I'm going to close this all up with a quote from the late, great Dr. Wayne Dyer, when he said, "Change your thoughts and your beliefs. Change your life." Thank you.